All right, folks. Good morning and welcome to House Edge Live with John from I keep saying John from ProCrafts. I got to remember my new name. It's John from Casino Gaming Central. I hope you all had a good Monday night. And here we are on a Tuesday. Happy Tuesday morning. I see that Wizard Luke is about a week away from his cruise, which is cool. Skill and luck. Yeah, it is time. And yeah, I was late a little bit today. My computer didn't crash again this morning, but I overslept a little bit. So it happens. Whatever. So anyway, here we go. We're cruising along, aren't we, in this little series of ours? How are you guys liking it so far? Are we liking the series, the ABCs of Gambling? Give me some thumbs up, some thumbs down, some ideas. I made mention on the first day of the series that I wasn't really sure how it was going to go, right? Like, do I have the right rhythm? Is it, are we on the right track? Is whatever. Is it long enough, short enough, whatever? I'm trying to make these topics kind of punchy and quick without getting too deep. My fear, of course, as a producer and a teacher, is I'm not going deep enough, right? I always want to go. I think almost every one of these bullet points that I give you, or every screen that we talk through in the series, could end up being a full show. I could do a half hour on each one of them, right? But I'm trying to go like surface level quick as I can. So I feel like I'm kind of waffling on how I like it. But anyway, let's get to it here. Obviously, we're going to get our morning sort of reminders here. And Ken knows gambling. Ken from Ken Knows Gambling says that every day. Gambling sucks, right? I don't think gambling sucks. He is right. The best bet is not to make a bet. But ultimately, we're here because we like it, right? And let's just be honest about that. I enjoy gambling. I like to throw the dice. I like playing craps. I like blackjack. I like all the games. I enjoy them. I like the fight, right? I like the fact that it's me against the house a little bit, right? But I don't think a lot of people know that. I think a lot of people think they got a chance when they go to the casino, and you really don't have a chance. There's so many reasons why you don't have a chance to win long term, unless you hit a jackpot and never go back again, right? Or hit a jackpot big enough to cover the rest of your losses in your life, right? So recognize that. Right? It's fun, it's entertaining, it's all those things, right? But the casino and the relationship with you is not kumbaya, right? They're here to get you. They're here to bankrupt you. That's what they exist for. They make money when you lose money. And not just like you're going to buy a t-shirt. They make money when you lose money, and lose thousands. People lose homes all the time, businesses all the time. That's why they're there. And if you get good enough to do well consistently, then it's the bye-bye. They don't want you there. They ban you, right? That's just the way that it works there. So recognize that, and recognize the fact that this is kind of a battle. So what do you come armed with is the bridge, right? We talk about this every single day. Understanding the ways that your bankroll works for and against you. Understand and work with the way that you view risk. That's an important thing, right? Understanding how risky you think you are and how you work with that. Do you identify opportunities to lean in or leave? Do you have discipline? Do you set goals, right? Are your emotions under control? All these things are the tools that you have to go into that fight and make it fairer. Not completely fair, but a little better off for you. So anyway, that's why we do this every day. That's why I stay up late at night creating shows and doing the research. That's why all my friends, Jacob and Ken and Jeremy and everybody who's got channels, are working their asses off to give you good content, because we know these things to be true. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the ABCs of Gambling. And this series that I'm doing here is it's one that again, I wanted to make kind of a short, pithy sort of walk through all the things we've learned over the years. And so we're working through every letter. We're giving each letter about 4 or 5 to maybe 8 bullet points and kind of walking through it. So we're on letter F right now. And here's what people don't really talk about, right? The casinos aren't really a monolith, right? There are cracks in the armor there. And sometimes there's real value there, and sometimes it hides in plain sight. So we're going to talk about some of the cracks today, hopefully, and maybe more importantly, becoming the kind of player who can exploit those cracks without giving it all back. We'll start with some places where some edge might exist for you, like some free play, video poker machines that look the same but aren't. Full play, we'll find bets that have zero house edge. We're going to name the thing that steals our wins, the most psychological traps that turn smart players into donors, FOMOs, fake patterns. And we're going to close with the antidote to a lot of this stuff, the unsexy discipline that separates players who grind for decades from those who flame out in months. And we'll get after here, talking about some of the edges we can find, the real traps, and player with foundation can see them both and hopefully walk out ahead. So we want to go here, and let's talk about the F words of gambling. Okay, the number one thing we're going to talk about today is free play. It's the casino's gift, right, to you, but it's designed to be given back. And we'll talk about how to treat that like a heist instead. We'll talk about full play, which is, again, this concept of identical looking video poker machines, potentially, with different math behind that glass. We'll look at free odds and FOMO, the only zero house edge bet you have in the building, fear of missing out, which turns wins into losses. We'll look at potentially false patterns and fundamentals, right? What your brain sees as streaks that don't really exist. And of course, fundamentals. A player who masters one game can beat the player who is mediocre at 5 of them. So 6 concepts, 1 thread, and something fun at the very end to close the whole thing out with. So Skill and Dr. S, by the way, are putting in some examples for you. I will get to your questions later. Notice the letter Q in front of their chats. If you put a Q in front of the chat like they're doing, at the end of the show, presuming I have time, we'll do a little questions and answer session, and I can find those chats really quick. So if you have a question, if you have, by the way, given that tomorrow is going to be the letter E, F, G, and you have ideas that you want to hear about, put them in chat. I still have time to prep for shows, right? So if you want to me to cover other things and letters that are coming up, put them out there for me, and I'll make sure I find them. All right, let's do it. Let's get into the first one here. Oh, we're going to close with the FU bet. I should have gave the secret away, but we'll talk about Ken's favorite thing, the FU bet. All right, here we go. Our first one is going to be free play. And here's the thing, right? The casino gives you $100 in free play. And I get these offers all the time. You all get them. When I go to my next cruise, I've got like $500 in free play, right? You play it, you lose it, you leave. Right, congratulations, you did exactly what they wanted, right? And remember, free play isn't really a gift. If they're making a bet on you, effectively, right? Because here's the bet. They're going to give you the $100 in slot play or whatever. You're going to do one of two things. You're going to lose it and then follow it with real money, or you're going to win something, get excited, and keep on playing until you're giving it back plus some of your own, okay? Either way, they win. That's the design. And I'll give you a personal life example of this, okay? And this is a real, and it actually worked out for us, but I want to give you the story. My wife and I were on a cruise not long ago, over the summer, went to Alaska. And the first night of the cruise, we're in the casino, and there wasn't very many of us in there. There was probably 100 people in the whole casino that first night. And they made an announcement. We're going to draw from people who had their players' cards in the machines or at the tables. We're going to draw, 8 names to come over to play trivia. So they, of course, my wife, the luckiest person on the planet, right, gets her name called. She goes over there. They do a little USA trivia. She wins the trivia, $750 or $776. What the prize was. It was a July 4th cruise, so that was why. Anyway, it's fantastic, right? It wasn't money; it was free play. They gave her $776 in free play, which is still good. So she worked that free play like a bitch. She worked that thing, man, and she won money from the free play, which was great. Won like $1,000 that night. So she had like $1,700 of house money to play with, which by night 2 turned into the free cruise, which was great. She earned enough points, but she gave all that money back. She gave it all back and then some, right? And kept on going. Had she taken the free play and the grand that she won and worked that thing down to about a $500 profit, she could have cashed out at $500 and a free cruise and stopped playing. Right? But the casino got what they wanted. They got her attention. They got her hooked in. They got her sitting there playing for free, she thought, the entire time. This happens, right? It's not a failure. It's just a mental thing, right? You worked it. That's what they wanted. They wanted her to stay and play, and she did, right? Ultimately, we got a cruise out of the thing, so it's fine. Or she got her own free cruise out of it, which is fine. But that's the trick, okay? So your job is to break that design. Treat it like it's a heist. Get in, convert it to cash as quick as you can, and get out before they can take it back, right? It means knowing the rules before you play, right? Sometimes you can play a free play only on a 50-50 bet. Sometimes the free play will stay, right? Oftentimes you'll do a free play like $100 in the field with it, they'll pay the free play and it sits there, right? That's it. That's the end of the free play. Sometimes you can play it as a place bet and it stays. On some cruise ships, you can play a free play bet as a place bet and press it and let it keep playing without simply converting it. Know the rules of how you're getting your free play, right? What is that playthrough requirement? What games count? What's the percentage? Is there a max bet that voids it somehow, which is the case often? And can you cash out and boogie? You want to know that. Can you split it in two? Can you get a $100 free play at a craps table and play two $50 bets? Can you do that? Find out those answers before you just drop it on the table, okay? And then pick your strategy. This is the time, by the way, to choose a low volatility, low house edge thing. Go find something like the pass line. That's an easy convert. If all you can do is convert it once, find something that you got the best chance to convert it on. Don't drop free play out there on the ATS, which some casinos will let you do, right? Convert it into something. That's an important thing. High volatility games, you're gambling with that one shot for a miracle. Both can work, but I think converting it to cash first, on the highest chance you have to convert it to cash, is probably your best chance. If you're going to play the ATS, by the way, and you can split your free play, if you can split $100 free play into multiple cracks instead of one shot, that is the perfect time to put the free play in the pass line and cover your ATS bets. It becomes a free ATS shot, if you think of it that way, because it covers all those sevens that you were replacing your ATS with are covered by your free play. Great way to do it if you can pull that off, okay? So again, the moment you may have already lost it is when you catch yourself thinking, oh, I'm just playing with their money. Like, don't let that get in your head. We talk about like the mental games you play. Don't let that get in your head. It's your money. The second you can cash it out and convert it, it's yours. Bye-bye. Sometimes you can put free play in a machine and cash right out. You got to know what's possible and permitted. How you convert that free play. It is a gift unless you give it back, right? Otherwise, it's a heist, right? Extract that cash quickly as you can. All right, there's your free play talk. Full pay is something interesting, okay? And I don't know that people know the tricks here, but you got to pay attention. There's multiple of these video poker machines, right? My wife loves video poker. I don't play it, but it's one of the best games out there. It's not like any other slot. Video poker is not, it's RNG, the cards, but the other games are all RNG generated outcomes. Predetermined outcomes, right? Because video poker, you make a choice. They can't predetermine the outcomes because you can make a bad choice. You can take a straight flush and throw it away if you wanted to. So the machines can't be pre-jacked with the outcomes, but some of them return 99.5%. Some return 97%. Okay, there's a 2.5% difference there that cost you about $25 an hour. If you think about that, right? And there's nothing on screen that tells you which is which other than learn how to read the payouts, right? Video poker, again, one of the best bets if you're playing the right game. And a full pay machine means the machine offers the best possible pay table for the game, for that variant. Jacks are better full pay. They call it 9 to 6 because a full house pays 9 credits and a flush pays 6. That machine, when you're playing quote unquote perfect strategy, returns 99.5%. That's a house edge under 0.5%. And we talked about the edge the other day and what that bleed of the edge does to you over time. On a slot machine, if you can cut it from 2.5% to 0.5%, you're really on the move, right? Casinos don't advertise it. Hey, here's the good machine. They don't highlight it. They put 8 to 5 machines everywhere because it's the same. The looks the same, the graphics are the same, the buttons are the same. Do you know that on video poker, by the way, and you raise your hand if you play video, or let's say here, raise your hand if you play video poker. And if you look at those machines, you'll find them. Palace has a ton of them, by the way. They look old, right? They have that shitty old glass on, and they have like the gold-plated area where you press the buttons. The buttons are like actual old-school buttons that look like they've been there forever. Do you know that they make brand new video poker machines to look like that? This is the casino fucking with your head, by the way. They make brand spanking new video poker machines, right? The graphics look shitty and the same. The buttons are garbage. They have that old school looking gold tray there, right? Some of them even have coin slots that don't operate on purpose to look like it's been there for a long time. Okay? They look like the old 9 to 6 machines, but they're not. They're the newer, garbagey versions of it. Okay? Pay attention, look at the payouts before you head up to the machines, right? So, and again, we'll make those numbers I gave you before real, right? You're betting $1 a hand, 400 hands an hour, which is what you're getting on those machines. My wife is, God, she's fast, right? On the 9 to 6 machine, you lose about $2 an hour on average. On the 8 to 5 machine, it's $11 an hour. Okay? Over 4 hours, that's $8 or almost $45. That's a lot of money that you're just bleeding out as you go. Again, you're going to get jackpots along the way. We've talked about how to deal with a jackpot, right? How do you deal with a jackpot? You get the hell out of there. You stop giving it back, right? But it's the same game, the same effort, the same everything. But one time you lose 40, one time you lose 2. It makes no sense to play the bad machine, right? Find the better machine. It's just like finding a 3 to 2 game or a 6 to 5 game in blackjack. Why would you ever play the wrong game? Right? Those are one of the few games with full pay that's same. The skill here isn't your gameplay, it's recognition. Look at the pay table, find the full house line, find the flush line. If it's not 9 and 6, then walk, go to the different machine. Don't play it. Don't play 6 to 5 blackjack. Don't play no surrender blackjack. Play 3 to 2 blackjack. Play a 9 to 6 video poker machine. It's the same game, it's the same buttons, the math is different. You can't spot a full pay machine in a few seconds, then you're paying tax that you don't really owe to the casino, right? All right, let's look at free odds. And there's exactly one bet, by the way, one bet in the casino where there's no house edge. That's it. It's on every craps table, and a lot of players ignore it. I do. I don't play the line that much. A lot of players don't know that it exists. A lot of us, and I'm part of this group, poo-poo it a little bit, right? There's reasons why this is a good and a bad bet, okay? We know this. Every bet in the casino has that bleed. We talked about the place bet in the 5 years today, right? If you place bet the 5 for $10, you should win 15, you win 14. Ouch. That's crap. That's the house edge. That is the bleed. That is the negative EV of the game. However, if you're going to make a full odds bet, okay, behind the line. So you basically you place a pass line bet, you catch a number. Now you can put the odds. Those odds do pay, right? They do pay. $10 an odds pays $15. That's great. So there is a way to take advantage of this. Okay, and I want you to make sure that you're not just hearing me say play all the odds you can. It's not the way that it works. Okay. But it's there. There's a no vig, no house edge, no advantage for the casino bet. It's not. It's actually an invisible bet, if you think about it. So the odds bet, because they pay what they should, the true probability, there's no cut to the casino. The trick is the ratio of this. And most recreational players, they'll bet too much on the line and not enough on the odds. Okay? So let's take a table minimum bet. Let's say you have a $5 table, but you put $25 on the pass line because you're a big shot. Remember we talked yesterday about being a big shot? You put $25 out there on the pass line. And then you put, when the point comes up, you put $25 in odds, 1 times odds. Or maybe you put $50 back there because you're a real big shot, right? That 2x odds does lower the house edge of the total bet, right? Remember, your house edge on the odds is 0. Your house edge on the main bet is 1.5%. Those odds lower the main bet or lower the house edge by quite a bit, but not enough to make it worthwhile. If you're willing to purge $75, okay, 25 on the pass and 50 on the odds, what you need to be doing is finding a 10x or a bigger table at the lower table minimum. In Seattle, we have lots of $5, $10 tables with 10x odds. Bet $5 on the line and $50 in odds. You're going to risk 75 anyway. Right? 50 on a 5, by the way. 50 pays 75 and the flat pays 25. You're going to win $100. If you're going to do that, bet 5 and 50. And the 50 still pays 75 on the back end. You're losing on the front end, You're getting $5 on the front end instead of 25, but the ratio is so much bigger. Right? The house edge on that bet goes down below about 25 below 0.25%. You're lowering the house edge to almost nothing. Okay, not every casino has that kind of odds, but if you can find a game that's 5x, 10x, or more odds, play the lowest possible line bet you can and the max odds you can do. That's the way to maximize those odds and squeeze the house edge away. Okay, now the upside down to that is this. The flip side of the odds bet is that you are putting more money out there On a bet, you're more likely to lose. You got to make sure that you understand this. And I think that the guys who preach, odds, although it is a low house edge play, you're adding money to a bet that is the underdog. If you have a pass line bet and the point is 5, you are a 6-4 underdog, a 3-2 underdog. Odds means you're putting more money out there on the underdog. So be careful about that. When I do odds plays, I did a strategy a while back. What did I call that thing? The Hellraiser or something like that. That play waits for a win and uses the win as the odds, right? We only place odds from profit or from casino wins, and you jack up the seat, the base bet, by 1 unit so you can get the double odds or extra odds back there, right? That's the way that you do it, right? Pulling odds out of your rack and jacking up a bad bet is not smart play. I like odds because they are free. I don't like them because they jack up a bad bet. Now, on the other side of that, the don't pass, same thing can happen. Those odds are also free. You bet on the 7. You're betting the don't pass. We set a point. Now you have a flat bet out there against the 5. You're the 6-5, 6-4 favorite. You put odds on that bet. Now you're getting free odds. No house edge bets on the big dog. Now you're the favorite. People will say, why on earth would you put more money out there to win less? Because let's be honest, a $100 bet or a $75 bet in odds on the don't pass for a 5 pays to 50. You're getting more to pay less, betting more to pay less. But you're the favorite. You're the favorite. You are the favored bet to win, and the casino lets you put more money out there. Right? So take advantage of that when you can. If you have the money in your rack, especially from a previous win, use that as the odds play. That is your free play, especially from the don't. Especially from the don't. When you have the hammer, swing the hammer is kind of the thing. So, all right. To sum all that up, the casino puts a 0 house edge bet on the table and hope that you don't notice. Notice there's no card for that out there. There's no box around it. It's one of those things where it's not advertised at all. Prove them wrong. Notice the bet. When you have a chance to take odds or lay odds, take it. And take it with the right frame of mind. Lowest possible flat, biggest possible odds on the right side, biggest possible bet on the dark side, and lay odds when you have a chance to. So good. It's a really good bet to make. I poo-poo it a lot, but in reality, it's super smart, especially from the don't. All right, FOMO, fear of missing out. We've all been here, right? You were about to leave, right? Up $400. And the guy next to you hits a bonus, right? How many times have you been that, right? You've been at a slot machine and the bonus goes off next to you, or you're in the middle of coloring up, right? I've done this so many times. Or I go to the bathroom or something, come back and here comes the tall, or here comes the ATS, or guys on the fourth point of the fire bet, right? And you go, okay, I'm gonna buy back in again. I've seen people do this. I've seen people color up, and as they're getting their money, person next to them gets a dice, they're on a hot little roll, and they're 1 away from the ATS. Right? Or they got a 9 roller and they hit the point. And what did people do? Buy right back in. I've seen it. Take a black chip, buy back in, give me 96 across, right? And invariably, right, they lose that on the next roll. It happens, right? It's fear of missing out. Everybody's doing great, you're not. It's the silent killer for winners or for winning sessions, right? And what makes it dangerous is that it doesn't really feel like you're going on tilt because you're not angry, right? You're not really chasing a loss. You're up. You're doing great. You should be, but something pulls you back in, right? And again, it's a streak. It's the slot paying a jackpot. It's the pit and getting noisy with somebody on a roll. You can see over there at that table somebody's going off on a roll, or the roulette table's going nuts, and suddenly walking away with your own win feels like you're quitting. You're up. You left. You did the thing. You walked away with money, right? But you feel like you're quitting because you're missing out on all the greatness. This is why the casinos do it so well, right? They want that to happen. They want the screaming and yelling, right? They can withstand a loss. You cannot. They can withstand a whole table winning in the ATS. They can withstand an entire table of 8 people winning the ATS with 100 on it. And people freaking out. They can withstand that because they know that for the next 23 hours and 57 minutes, people are going to lose. Okay? You feel like you left money on the table when something like that happens, and you're not. That streak wasn't your streak. wasn't going to be yours. The dice don't know you're there. But FOMO rewrites that whole story. It makes you feel like you missed the moment that was meant for you. And they know it. The lights, the bells, the excitement, the announcements, the leaderboards, all of that. All of that is not atmosphere. You think it's atmosphere, but it's not. It's architecture. It's designed to create the fear of missing out in everybody who's not winning. It's what it's for. Your exit strategy, which we talked about yesterday, has got to be FOMO proof. That means deciding before you sit down, not whether you're watching somebody else celebrate. It means honoring the number that you set without negotiating. It means understanding the moment you start reasoning with yourself about, well, I won a bunch, but this is really, I can't leave this table. Just a few more rolls, a few more hands, a few more spins, one more shoe. FOMO's won. It's over with. It won. Right? You see somebody bet a side bet on a blackjack table and win it, you start putting those dollars out there, you're missing out. Right? Don't win. Or I'm sorry, the win that you walked away with is real. Right? The win that you could have had is the ghost. And don't trade one to chase the other. Right? Remember, the streak that you missed was never your streak. Right? But the win you gave back chasing it was. And that's an important thing for us to never forget. All right, false patterns. The next F word today. You've been watching that roulette wheel, right? And the red has hit 6 times in a row. You know what's coming next, right? What's coming next, right? Exactly what was coming, right? It's going to keep going red. Oh, no. Or it's going to be black because blacks do, right? Here, you know this, right? Either way, it's the same. It's a 47 point whatever percent chance, 50-50, right, that you're going to get one. Your brain recognizes patterns, okay? It's a survival feature. It kept our ancestors alive a long time ago. And in the casino, it's a bug. And here's the thing. Some of us are better than others at pattern matching, okay? You watch people do like the little cards in Baccarat, all the different ways to kind of track what's happening. Some people are really good at that tracking stuff, right? Does it mean anything? No. It means nothing. The casino gives you a pencil and a specially designed document that you can use to track the results on a Baccarat table. Some of them now have the roads on the signs. You don't have to do it yourself. You can look at the sign, right? Roulette's got the board. Craps has got boards coming too. Why is that? Well, because humans are inherently stupid and lazy. Let's call a spade a spade. Some of you recognize patterns really well. Some of you can't tell a pattern if you walked into it. The casino makes sure you're walking into it. They're going to put a sign up with the pattern. Here's the pattern. It's high, 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 low, low, high, high, high. Or it's red, 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 red. They're going to give it to you on a silver platter, right? Do they do anything in that building to help you? No. Nothing's there to help you. It's all there to hurt you. They want you to find the pattern. That's why they give it to you. Okay? You got to know. And you all know it inherently. Stop telling yourself otherwise. Every spin on a roulette wheel is independent. Every roll of dice is independent. Every hand is independent. Everything is independent. One spin does not know what just happened. One dice roll does not know what just happened. The next card out of the shoe doesn't know what just happened. Hell, you're playing a great perfect shoe of blackjack and somebody else sits down and that great shoe now has a third hand in it. Coming out of it, the rhythm you were in is gone. None of it matters. None of it matters. But your brain makes it matter and it's false, right? You see the 6 reds and it screams to you. Either black is due or red's going to keep coming, right? Both of those screams are wrong. They're both a mistake. They're the same mistake, in fact. They both assume games have memory. They both assume that there's a trend. There's no such thing out there. Everything is independent. The masterpiece, like I say, of these false patterns is those Baccarat scorecards, man. The casino, they give it to you. They give you all the tools. Why would they do that? Why would they give you a pencil and a piece of paper designed to help you track shit if they knew that tracking shit was going to cost them money? You could track it and they would lose money. They'd never give you the pencil. They'd never give it to you, right? It's all here. It's all here. It's all designed, right, to do what I said in the very first slide of that. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to replay the slide that I start the show with every day. All of that shit is designed for this reason, because the casino exists to bankrupt you. That's it. Everything they do, every sign, all that shit is designed to take your money. And you've got to be an educated player. You've got to know that that's what it's all here for. You have to have a plan, right? You have to have a plan. And that's just the most important thing I can tell you. I'm off a screen here. If you don't have a plan to combat that stuff, if you don't have extreme discipline, if you don't have an exit strategy that you're willing to follow, you're going to fall prey to this stuff. And it's human nature. It's human nature to do it. Okay? Now, the one thing I like about the streak board in roulette, just FYI, I don't use it to bet on it, but I like to look at that board and go, yes, it proves my point that streaks happen, right? Streaks do. You'll see those nice long lines of things, right? Streaks do happen. The board proves that it happens. It doesn't prove what's coming next, but it proves that it's possible, that these runs of whatever are gonna show up, which always proves my point, which is I always bet what's coming. I always bet what's happening. I would rather bet on the thing than against the thing, right? If you're gonna try and pattern bet, that's the way to do it. Just be careful with this do fallacy thing, right? Tomorrow, we're going to talk about gambler's fallacy tomorrow. The entire show tomorrow on letter G might be gambler's fallacy. We're going to talk about grinding and gambler's fallacy because there's so many fallacies like this one. I could take 3 shows and talk about it. Just remember, patterns are real. They're in your head. Your brain is doing what it is evolved to do. But game patterns aren't real. Randomness looks like streaks to people. Right? That's a feature of randomness. It's not a feature of the game. Okay? Your skill is not being smarter than your brain. It's knowing when your brain is lying to you. Remember that, okay? So the pattern that you see again is not real. Your brain made the pattern. The pattern in the game is not real. I can't state that enough times or emphatically enough. Right? Very important stuff. All right, here we go. Fundamentals. I'm going to close with this one here, really. We've all seen it. I've watched players who know a little bit about blackjack, a little bit about craps, a little bit about poker, a little bit about blackjack, and they lose money at everything, right? Because they don't master anything, right? What's that jack of all trades, master of none statement, right? I believe you should know one game at least cold. Play the game you know cold. I played only Baccarat for years and years and years. Then I branched out and learned blackjack from my dad and played that and Baccarat for years and years and years. I wanted to learn craps, so I stood by the craps table and didn't make a bet for a year. I watched people play that game trying to figure the damn thing out. I finally stepped in and treaded lightly in it, right? Until I mastered it, right? But there are people out there that are like action junkies. They know a little bit enough of everything and they're going to go out there and just play for action. Just enough blackjack to know when to hit or stand. Just enough craps to put a pass line bet out there and some odds, right? Just enough poker to see the flop and make a dumb decision, right? I think these people are looking to never be bored. They always want the action. They're losing at maximum efficiency across every game. And the alternative to that is this. Fundamentals first. Pick a game, learn it cold. Not pretty good, learn it cold. Close your eyes and have somebody yell out 2 cards to you and know what the move is, right? In blackjack, right? Know that if there's a, whatever, I'm making it up, a 5 and a 3 in Baccarat, know what that hand means. Know what a banker getting a 5-3 means versus a player getting a 6-1. Know what the difference is in that hand like that. You have to know that cold, or don't put a bet out there. Right? You got to know optimal strategy for the games without thinking about it. You should know the house edge on every bet you make. You can still make high house edge bets, but you know that going into it. Right? You should know what conditions favor you, what conditions don't. Right? Play your own game tired. Play your own game distracted. Play your own game with a couple of drinks in you and still be perfect. You want to know things that cold. Fundamentals. Right? Greg from 555 is here, right? He does things like his don't pass with his odds. He plays the game the same way every time cold. He never varies. He has discipline. He has a goal, and he sticks to it. None of that mess is messing with Greg. He's got fundamentals. Greg's not walking over to the big wheel, or he's not walking over to blackjack and just deciding, let me just try this out for a while, because Greg likes his money. He's not going to give it away on something he hasn't actually learned, practiced, and tried. That's the way that you do this correctly. Make sense? All right? Fundamentals are home to you. They should be your home base, the foundation. They're not sexy, right? The rules, the odds, optimal decisions, bankroll requirements, variance profiles, none of that makes a good story at the bar, right? That's an old saying, like no good story starts with last night I had a salad, right? It's the same thing, right? But it makes for a good player who's still solvent in years, right? Once you got a foundation, then you expand. You learn craps, then you learn blackjack, then you learn video poker. Each game stacks on the last one, so you've got more tools in your arsenal, right? You're not scattering your attention, you're building that repertoire, right? And the player who's dangerous at one game always beats the player who's mediocre at 5. So build your foundation first. The repertoire will come later. And I think that's a pretty important thing for us to kind of realize. It's fun to be there, but it's not fun to guess, right? We talked yesterday about the guy who's a little too overconfident, right? Who's got that ego. He's going to play blackjack anyway, even though he doesn't really know that he has a pile of black chips, right? I'm playing blackjack with black chips, damn it, because I want to look like the guy. I don't know how to play this game. What do I do? What's the move here? That guy. Don't be that guy that won the ATS on a whim and then brings his stack of blacks to the wrong game, has no idea what the hell he's doing. Don't be that guy. Play the games you know and know the games you love. That's the other thing too. Like, know the game that you love. Make sense? All right. The last one, and this is a shout out to my good friend Ken at Ken Knows Gambling. There's a time and a place for everything. I always tell you to be careful, right? Don't burn your exit. Don't burn your profits. Don't give it all back. Sometimes there's a time and a place for what Ken calls the FU bet, and here's a good example of it. Okay, he calls it this. I've been using this bet. It actually works really well in the Headless Horseman. It's a 2-unit don't pass and 3 come bets, right? Well, what happens sometimes? You lose that don't pass. Like, come out 7 or come out 11 takes your don't. You're like, well, shit. I had 5 units ready to go for this round. I just lost 2 of them. On the first bet, I lost 2, right? Those 3 units have a tough time breaking you even. If you're going to skip the don't and go 3 come bets, you're in a world of hurt. If you go 1 unit don't and 2 come bets, you're in a world of hurt. You're not going to win your 6 units back, most likely. Ken says, give it the FU bet, put all 3 left on the don't pass, and just let it happen. Either you're going to win the 3 units and get back your money that you just got burned on, or you lose it, start the next round over again, right? The FU bet sometimes is a play. I've seen people get burned up on a hedge play, right, or a hybrid type play. 86 across and $100 or $200 lay 4. The 4 gets pegged. Next one out there, they'll do another lay bet or a don't come bet and max the odds out. Instead of going place bets, they go with a bunch of odds, right? The FU bet is, let's just go and lean into the 7 for a second and forgo the other things I was going to do. Sometimes those bets make sense. Sometimes you win a bunch of money. Sometimes your goal was 500. You brought 1,000. Your goal was 500. You won 1650 above, right? So now you're up 2650. You know what you can do? Take the $150, right? Go 25, 25, 25 on the ATS with the pass line bet. Do that 3 times. That's the FU bet. Maybe that thing hits, maybe not. It's a small portion of your profits, what we call excess, that you take a shot with. Sometimes taking a shot on the way out the door, kind of fun. It cures a little bit of the FOMO. It cures some of the other stuff. It doesn't put your profits really at risk because it's a small thing, but it's a way to kind of flip them off on the way out, and maybe that's a good time, right? Sometimes the FU bet is the fun. You got to put the fun back in your play, and the FU bet sometimes can be exactly that, just fun. All right, so let's call it there. Let's call it there. That's the letter F. I think the letter F is an interesting one. Again, a lot of math, a lot of boring stuff, a lot of heady stuff, ego, whatever, mind games you play with yourself. But I think if we lean in on having solid fundamentals, and we lean in on how to play the free play right, and we lean in on ways to find the full pay machines, there's edge out there if you can find it. Not edge, but lowering your risk is out there. You can play and have the same level of fun with a little bit less risk. I think it's important to kind of hunt those things down when and where you can. So, all right, let's head in and look at some QA. I got about 2 or 3 minutes. Let me check some Qs first and see what's out here for questions. There's a few. Dr. S says, do you honestly think you cannot win consistently $500 a day? I think you can, but it takes a couple of things to do that. I'll put that comment up on screen. It's possible to win $500 a day. I think it is, but it takes bankroll, it takes discipline, and it takes knowing that it's going to go bad. Okay, if you're going to take 10 grand, let's say 10 grand, and you're going to bet blacks or purples with it, or have a black chip small ladder, and you need 10 grand to get through that, you're going to make it $500 all the time. You're gonna lose at 10K at some point. Ken went 137-1 with the one strategy he tried. Right? You will lose it at some point. At some point, that's going to come back and get you. Okay, be okay with that. There's ways to use bankroll, smart ways of playing, laddering systems, whatever, that you can consistently bring home the bacon. Whether it's $5 or 500. The way to test that out: take $100 every day and win 5. If you can take $100 and win $5 every single day, and once in a while lose the 100, you can take 10 grand and win 500. It's the same, right? A little bit of zero play, right? Practice it. Practice taking $100 and winning 5. How many times can you do it in a row? That's what Dr. S is asking. It's the same thing. That ladder is the same. Your system is the same. You got to find a table that'll support it. $5 on a $1 Bubblecrafts machine. Win $5 every day. Go do it. Go do it. And you'll see that it's possible. There are days you're going to get whacked. And you got to be prepared for the whack. If you win $500 enough times, the whacks don't matter. All right. Do you think they would ever ban you from Bubblecrafts machines? No. Unless you start smacking it. Like, I've seen people punch the machines. You mistreat the machine, you'll be banned. They will never ban you from the Bubblecrafts. What they will do is they will change the rules of Bubblecrafts. And again, it's the same thing as banning you, right? They'll let a card counter play blackjack. They will just cap his bet at $25, right? It's the same thing as being banned. They'll limit what you can do. Bubblecrafts, they're already doing it. They're changing the rules of the machines, right? With the low bet requirements. There's all sorts of things that they're doing in Bubblecrafts, by the way. And I have to do a full analysis of this because, like the 9-6 video pokers, there are Bubblecrafts that are designed for and against you with different sets of rules you have to be careful of. So when people find ways to win on those machines, they will start changing the machine rules to not allow it to happen. That's what I mean when I say they will ban you. They'll change the rules so that you can't win or can't do what you were doing, or what you were doing earns you less money. That's definitely a thing. Let's see. Skill says also, who would ask about the free play information? Who would you ask? You ask the pit boss if you're at a table. If you're at the slots trying to use it, you ask the slot manager. Just go find a boss and ask him what's the rules around the free play. Sometimes the coupon itself has rules on the back that are impossible to read. So go ask somebody. No shame in asking the question. The shame is not asking and blowing the money, right? So pattern recognition is false, and DI isn't that wrong for the exact reason. Well, again, this is a sticky subject, Greg, and I think that it's important to go through the DI thing. DIs are trying to create patterns. Okay, that's the whole point of it. They're not trying to stick numbers, but they're trying to create patterns by eliminating a couple numbers. So the pattern for a DI might be higher percentage of box numbers versus horn numbers. Or the opposite. The pattern might be a set in my thing makes more horn numbers than it should. They're trying to create small pockets that are pattern based, not create physical numbers. So the target of a DI has to be clearly stated. And that's what they're trying to do, is create that kind of pattern. DI also, when used as a mental exercise, okay, as a way to stay focused and disciplined, is a pattern in and of itself, right? The guys who take the breath, grab the dice, do their set, breathe out, get it ready, breathe in, and go. They're in kind of a zone, right, which helps them to block out the noise, block out the distractions, keep you kind of disciplined, right? Even if the actual throwing of the dice didn't do a damn thing for that person, if it didn't work anyway, they are being mindful, and it's helping them make smart choices with the money, right? So I think DI as a practice has a lot of merit for it for lots of reasons. I think discipline and mindfulness is one of them, and it kind of works its way in there. So yes, Daryl, there are casinos. I know there's one, I don't know the name of it. There's one chain in Michigan, and one chain, I want to say it's Minnesota, somewhere else out there, that has a free buy on the 4 and 10. There's a casino in Vegas that does that for an hour a day. They do like a happy hour thing, and like for an hour a day, they're free bets. But there's a couple out there in the Midwest that definitely do a free buy 4 and 10 all the time, which is fantastic. All right, I'm out of here. I know you think it's semantics, Greg. We can argue about that. We do about all that all the time. But again, I believe I'm a big believer in mindfulness, and I think DI creates a mindful person. So there it is. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you, sir. I appreciate this, Kevin. Kevin Farm from the Big Island. Remember, the sunset on the live feed. That was some of the best pictures we ever saw. I remember that. I do remember those things. I'm good to see you again. And you're a Seahawks fan for the weekend. Let's go. Go Hawks, baby. All right, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. It is... oh, you know what? I'm going to leave you, by the way, with my last thing. I forgot almost. My inspirational quote of the day. And then I'm out. I got my meeting at 8:15. Here we go. Ready? Leave you with this thought. The thought of the day is... Dun, 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 come on, let's get there. Play it, Johnny. You're either part of the steamroller or you're part of the pavement, and I think that applies in a lot of places in our lives. At the casino, for sure, most people are part of the pavement at the casino. I'd like to give you the tools to be part of the steamroller, right? Even if for a little bit. Anyway, God bless y'all. Have a great day. Love every one of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Hump Day coming up. Bye.